Hey everybody, and welcome to Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan.
And we actually have a themed drink for this week. It's been a while.
I don't know if I call it a theme drink, but we actually have a nerdy drink again, so that's nice.
And this is your concoction, what you're calling, the Darth Revan, right?
The Revan, yeah.
So, I mean, yes, I have this giant...
That's what it should be served in.
Giant mug, this
At
purple
least a
concoction.
32-ounce drink.
So, what exactly is in this?
If you're familiar with an Irish trash can, essentially that.
So, the kitchen sink.
Pretty much. Which, oddly enough, my two favorite liquors, gin. Mm-hmm. Well, first off, whiskey.
Yes.
But also gin. Or, not gin, tequila. Tequila and whiskey do not make an appearance in this drink.
But pretty much
everything
else does. We'll give it a quick rundown.
Technically, it is an ounce of... it's 1 ounce of vodka, gin, rum, triple sec, blue curacao, peach schnapps. Yeah. And then basically, in addition to that, there's an entire can of, half a can of Red Bull and half a can of blue.
So a cherry and what?
Cranberry and blueberry.
All right.
The only difference is you got the big glass.
You got the
I got the tiny one with the same amount of alcohol.
I mean, it tastes good. Like it's one of those scary drinks because you really can't take.
It's blackout juice.
Yeah, you can't taste the booze. So you pound this like, oh, I got this. 2, 3, 4, and where are my pants? And who are you? And what are we?
Like I said, it's a 32-ounce cup or mug is what you should serve it in because it's fucking huge.
Right.
Fill the entire thing with ice. Basically, I threw before doing this. I threw all the boozes together in a cocktail shaker, gave it a go with some ice, then poured it into the mug over the ice, and then basically topped with both red and blue. So that's why it fills the glass. But the problem is, like, without the Red Bull in it, half the glass is just booze.
And like you said earlier, before we recorded, it tastes like a boozy Otter Pop.
Mine does, yeah. Mine has way less. Like you saw Jason's where it was kind of purplish. Mine's more bluish in hue. Because mine has nowhere near as much Red Bull as his. But yeah, there's...
it is tasty as hell, though.
There's about 7 ounces in each of our glasses.
I like it.
So, it's blackout juice.
It really, really is. And of course, you guys at home, give this a shot. We'll put the recipe in the show notes and let us know what you think. Because this is your own concoction,
Pretty
Jordan?
much, yeah.
So you really didn't find anything online that was like an inspiration for it, or was it more...
The closest thing was I heard about whatever an Irish trash can was, and I kind of jimmied it together when I was still a bartender.
Right.
Like I gave it to Lauren, of all people, the first time I figured it out. Because he rolled up my last shift, like hammered.
I remember.
You know, give me a Long Island, hold the island, wink. Good God, man, this is the kind of crazy train we're running. Done. And even that, when I did it to him, I had to give him like the big 22-ounce like glass to make it work. But it was pretty much, it's one of those things like a little bit of everything, and it works. So for the most part, it's kind of like an Adios or an LA Water, just modified to my liking. So I mean, this is a drink I've been wanting to make for over a year now. Because I remember when we did Star Wars Day like 2 years ago, like not last year, but the year before.
Yes, you were making Mara Jade at the time.
That's when I made the Mara Jade. I had wanted to make a Darth Revan drink because a friend of mine, and I'm like, I need Star Wars themed stuff so I can kind of get some ideas going. We played with a lot of puns, but she was that, oddly enough, I had never heard of the character Darth Revan before until she had told me, yeah, Darth Revan. The fuck is a Darth Revan?
That's right, because you never really...
I never played Knights of the Old Republic.
Still to this day, you haven't played it. Really?
How would I play it now?
It's on your phone now.
You know, I don't like playing games on my phone.
Then get a little controller for it.
I got fat digits. I'm more than likely to push something I don't want to do.
Okay, you have you have a PS4 and an Xbox 360, yeah?
360 is pretty much dead, but yeah.
I'll find a way for you to play this game.
No, and I, like I said, the one thing I'm hoping for is, you know, the new wave of HD remakes.
Yes.
Like, all they'd have to do is say, we're going to throw some of Knights of the Old Republic back into canon, and then release an HD remake of it.
True.
I feel like we're one step away from that. But when I found out about the character Darth Revan, I'm like, all right, this is a guy that's one of the strongest fucking Force users out there.
Right.
How can I make a drink that matches that? his pure brute strength. And when I thought of alcohol, like that's what I thought of, like the blackout juice essentially.
Yes.
And it just kind of delved into this, and the idea of using red and blue Red Bull was because he had the purple lightsaber, and he's both light and dark. It kind of came into its own being.
But it works really well though. So it's a tasty drink. It'll definitely it'll catch you off guard.
It's weird that all of the Star Wars drinks that I've made, like personally, are like Woo Girl drinks. Because let's be honest, the Mara Jade was a fantastic drink, but it's sugary.
It was sugary as hell. Then there was also blue milk.
The Bantha milk, but see, that was a recipe I found online.
Okay.
Everything else was something that I found online, with the exception of the two.
Well, you have a winning combination so far. I think you need to continue on them. So.
You saw my notes?
Yes.
I was that asshole that opened a notebook and like had like 3 pages worth of notes. Like, all right, how can I make this work?
I failed to see a problem with
because
this.
the original plan for this was to make it like a fishbowl.
Oh, true.
And then I realized that's going to be annoying. So it's like I'll just make a giant man-sized single-serving drink, or at least what we would consider single servings as booze hounds.
Yeah, very true. But let's get to the news, and we'll talk with some conversation starters. Blizzard is going all in with the esports, and I'm all for this. Some people may look at it and question what the hell this is. But Blizzard is opening their own esports arena here in Los Angeles. It's gonna be open up in I think early October.
So it's not like an actual like tournament. Like they'll host tournaments there, but it's more like this is the nerd version of the Coliseum, or the Staples Center.
This is dedicated esports arena. So they will host multiple tournaments there, special events, one-offs, exhibition matches. You'll have a huge stage. It would be decked to the nine and all the latest
that's
tech.
brilliant then, because that's gonna save a ton of time and work and probably money for those, like when they try to host them, they don't have to gut everything and lay down a bunch of wires and everything. It's like, no, we're already set for this.
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of major esports tournaments over the past few years.
Well, there's fucking Evo in Vegas, but even then, that's just at that convention center.
But they've gotten big enough to the point where the main final matches are taking place in their giant arena.
No, but that's what I mean though. Like this is already the giant arena.
With these type of esports, though, the team esports, they require a hell of a lot more tech and backline, basically, for everything. There's been things like, the Dota, the Invitational. There's also the LCS Finals. There's a ton of stuff out there. And there's
naming a lot of stuff. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Very, very cool, very, very technical, elaborate sets and designs. Not to mention everything that Blizzard does during BlizzCon itself, where they take their arena and make a giant transforming, StarCraft 2 stage. It's actually fucking amazing. But that neither here nor there. With something like this, though, I think this is perfect for them because, like I said, they're diving all into esports at this point. They've started the official Overwatch League, where they had a bunch of people spend or buy in. I think it was reported about $10 million per team, and they're location based. So there's like maybe 3 in Los Angeles, 1 in New York, 1 in Dallas, 1 in London, 1 in Singapore.
So it's like the Lakers of this.
Exactly. Okay. It'd be the Los Angeles team or the New England team. So
way to go with the local and the Patriots.
Robert Kraft is one of the people who actually bought in on this. The owner of the Patriots now has his own Overwatch team. $10 million buy-in. Each of the players are signed to a 1-year contract with an optional 1-year extension. They're guaranteed at least $50,000 a year, plus bonuses like they have full health coverage and living accommodations.
Yeah, I can also imagine like if they win a tournament, it's like here's extra money for you.
Well, considering right now some of these tournament winners will net like $1.2 million. It is absolutely. I think Dota's the Invitational. I think last year the winning team got 10 million. I want to say something. Yeah,
fucking retarded.
But you gotta think though, if they are giving away that much in prizes, they're making at least 3 times that, if not more, in just revenue. So it is a big thing, and the fact that they're making a dedicated arena here in Los Angeles, it's the
beginning of a shiny new era.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so looking forward to it. I will be the first one to say that esports should never be part of the Olympics.
I thought you were gonna be those assholes like, I'll be that guy who buys season tickets. I don't go fuck.
Actually, I would, but
yeah, not surprised.
I would be happy to go to these these things. But October 7th is when this launches. The event's gonna be hosted, the first Overwatch tournament there, so that should be a hell of a lot of fun. I cannot wait for this because they also have, Heroes of the Storm, Hearthstone, StarCraft 2, bunch of cool stuff. I'm looking forward to it. It went way over your head, I'm sure. Yeah, I know. I will drag your ass to one of these things.
I don't doubt that.
You'll have fun. You enjoyed the Miku concert. As you take a drink. All right, fine. I'm all hyped up with this for nothing, I guess.
Oh, no. By all means, be hyped in the things that you're hyped in. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure there's a very lovely group of people who are probably equally as excited as you are.
Yeah, they're mostly called neckbeards, but we won't get into that.
No, think about it. Dom, even Julian fucking plays Overwatch. Brian loves Overwatch.
Yep.
You guys aren't, they're not, I don't consider them neckbeards. Fully functional members of society enjoy computer games.
Yes.
The only problem is, the last time I played a actual computer game, Diablo 2, and I got on it late, and that was when I was a sophomore in high school.
Oof.
So we're talking like 2003, maybe 2000. Yeah, 2003.
A lot has happened since the 14 years.
Do you see what I mean? Like,
that first requires you to get a computer first that can play these.
I had one back then.
But nowadays,
I have a smartphone.
Close enough. For some of these games, close enough, to be honest.
I listen to music and I watch porn on that thing. I'm good enough.
All right, fair enough. To each their own. Although I do have some serious questions about this next thing, though. We talked about a couple weeks ago about Netflix diving in headfirst into anime, supporting well over a dozen new series that are going to be exclusive to Netflix coming out starting later on this year. And one of the most recent trailers, I wouldn't even really call this anime, more just an homage, I guess you would call it, or just anime themed, or...
I mean, I don't know the full story of it, but it definitely looked like someone took Avatar: The Last Airbender, because it is very anime in style.
Yes.
But it's not made in Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case with this, but it very much seems like it may be.
Well, we're
and
talking
then like a Miyazaki Disney film where it's like we're gonna get famous people to dub it.
Okay, I can see your version on that. So what we're talking about is Neo Yokio, coming out for Netflix, and it is definitely out there. You're spot on with the Avatar and Korra, design of it. It's definitely anime style, but this is not really an anime, even though it was actually produced by two anime production studios in Japan.
Okay, so it's more like the what's it called? The shit Batman movie. Right before the movie The Dark Knight came out.
Oh, you're talking about that
the anime one.
The anime Matrix kind of thing, but for yeah.
Like it was all done by anime people.
It's like Gotham Knight or something like
that.
Yeah.
But it was not like when I showed it to Brian, his first response is he was cringing. It's like, can't we watch this with subs? Like maybe that'll help.
Right.
I'm like, there are no subs. What do you mean? No, this is an anime style, but it was made by Americans. I like the shade.
Yeah.
Oh, that movie was so bad. So, even if it had Kevin Conroy.
But with Neo Yokio, you're right on the spot with that. So you have two major production companies working on this: Studio Dean, Production IG, along with a Seoul-based production studio. There's MOI, I think it was.
Sorry, from creator, writer, and executive producer Ezra Cohen, Vampire Weekend. I can only assume that's the actual band and not some anime that I'm unaware of. And I really hope that's the case.
You may have to look that one up to find out. I've never heard of Ezra Cohen before.
No, neither have I, but see, that's the thing, though. If you've never heard of him, and their only big claim to fame is Vampire Weekend, oh my god, I think that might actually be like a member of the band Vampire Weekend.
Alright, yeah, so we have the production studio. Yeah, look that up. They have seasoned storyboard artists for this series. Kazuhiro Furuhashi, which worked on Mobile Suit Gundam Unicorn, Hunter x Hunter, Rurouni Kenshin, Junji Nishimuro, I believe, is on this, and that's kind of going older because you had, Urusei Yatsura, Ranma 1/2. They were brought in on this, so that's awesome. But then you get to the
lead
voice
singer
cast.
of Alt. Alt-rock band Vampire Weekend. Filmography, known for. Number 4 is the Twilight soundtrack.
Wow.
Also, Boyhood, Step Brothers, and The Kids Are Alright. But again, under the bio, there's absolutely fucking nothing. You scroll down, trivia, lead singer of the alternate rock band Vampire Weekend.
So we have
so much more in. I mean, they lost me at first with Jaden Smith as the main voice.
Yeah. Because I watched the trailer and I was like, that's Jaden Smith. He doesn't act. This is horrible. But then they also threw in Susan Sarandon, Jude Law, Jason Schwartzman, Richard Ayoade, Steve Buscemi, Stephen Fry, Willow Smith, Aaron Steinberg. I mean, most of those are pretty household names.
Most of those, yeah.
But now that you brought that up, oh man.
That is amazing.
This is going to be amazingly bad. Like, I know they're trying to go after this anime parody thing.
Oh shit, dude, he's the fucking creator of it. Like,
Yeah.
by full blown by the creator, like he just.
As you said at the beginning of this, the summary, from creator, writer, and executive producer.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So when you watch this trailer, you don't know what the fuck is going on. The voice acting is pretty bad. The animation style is all over the place. They merge genres and styles like they don't freaking care at all about continuity, which may lead to more of the parody aspect.
That's gonna be amazing.
Do you think this is gonna be like a perfect storm of shit that's gonna be amazing?
Maybe.
Okay.
Look, I remember.
I'm willing to give it a shot. But just getting that information about the creator just lowered it to the point of, okay, fine, I'm going to be drunk about this in order to watch this. Like, are we going to get to, like, The Room level?
Too big to fail at this point.
Well, okay, we'll have to see. We don't have to wait too long. It starts September 22nd.
I mean, dude, Richard Ayoade and Stephen Fry, Jude Law. You think they would shell out for something this bad?
It's Netflix and it's money.
Touche. But like,
So-
I feel like this is gonna be like Fully Cooley.
I-
In the sense that when you first look at it, you're like, what the fuck is this? This makes no goddamn sense. But it could be, again, also like Food Wars, where it's like, how the fuck does this work? I don't know, but it does.
Okay, well, we'll see.
What the hell's wrong? Like, I'm the optimistic one here?
Yes. Role reversal.
Going back to my no-no juice.
Moving on.
Speaking of Netflix.
Yeah. Netflix is definitely doubling down on their original content because they seem to be losing other people's content left, right, and center. It was reported a few weeks ago that Disney said at the end of their contract in 2018, they're pulling all of their Disney stuff in favor of launching their own streaming service in 2019. It was thought for a while that maybe Netflix would strike a deal with Disney that they'd be able to keep for a short period of time Star Wars and Marvel. Nope, that officially came out and stated, nope, we're pulling those as well.
Nah, motherfucker, nah.
So 2019, Netflix will lose Disney, Marvel, Star Wars. It's still up in the air what's going to happen with the Netflix Marvel partnership.
I was wondering
Defenders
about that.
ones, which we'll get to our review of that in a little bit. But who knows what's going to happen with that, because that wasn't it's a Marvel series. It was a co-production of Netflix as well. So maybe those will stay. So we'll have to see.
Maybe they'll do some partner thing where it's like, look, you get them first, but then we get them.
Maybe. We'll have to see what happens with that. Which,
Because, Netflix is really hitting out of the park with their own personal stuff. Death Note. And in all fairness, I warned you.
You did. Well, let's get through a few more things, and then we'll get to the god-awful reviews. So, with all of this in mind, with Disney creating a apparently huge streaming service, they already bought a major stake in, I think it was BAM TV, the Major League Baseball based streaming service that HBO uses. It's going to be a rock-solid network that can back millions and millions of people using it simultaneously. You'll have all the Disney stuff all the movies, their classic catalog from the vault. You'll have their TV series from Disney and Disney XD. You'll have all the Marvel stuff. You'll have all the ABC stuff. You'll have Star Wars.
Here's what I'm wondering, though. I'm wondering if we've reached a bubble in streaming services to the point where it's gonna be like podcasts. Yes, you have all these individual podcasts and stuff like that.
Right.
Like Rob Paulson's is Talking Tunes.
Yes.
That was on its own for what, a couple months, if that?
Yeah.
Then what happened? It's part of the Nerdist network.
Yes.
So what's to stop all these different things where it's like, yeah, we have the Disney network. The fuck does that mean? Well, if you get the Disney network, you get the Disney Channel stuff, you get the Marvel stuff, you get the Star Wars stuff, and it's that one umbrella, and you get all the trickle-down stuff inside.
It's the same thing with VRV or Verve. It's a new collaboration. It's been out for about a year and a half now. It's a collaboration where you pay, I think, like $10-12 a month, and you get all of Crunchyroll, all of Funimation, all of Nerdist, all of Geek and Sundry, and a couple other things, all under one banner.
Okay.
So, I see that happening. You know, everything starts splintering off. Almost everybody is going to have their own network. It'll be the major companies, ABC, CBS. They'll have their own, Now service. You already have HBO Go out there. All the other movie streaming companies already have their own. You have some of the fringes putting together their own. Hell, the Criterion Collection's part of another.
Yeah, they have their own
at
now.
This point. But like going back to what you said about podcasts, I think we're going to start seeing, and we're already starting to see it, things like podcast aggregators, where you would actually just download one app and say, I want to watch this, and this. Cool. Now I just need to enter at one time. Here's my login information for all of these. Fantastic. So now in the future, I'll get a notification. Hey, this thing just popped online. Cool. You press the button on that. It goes to the app, the aggregator app, and will pull the data no matter where app it came from
well,
for
see,
that.
I already thought about that as well, because that's kind of what Amazon does. Because with Amazon, you can log in with your Showtime, HBO, and it's still all under that same umbrella.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh yeah, this is Jason. Jason's also has this, and this logged in, so we'll just fucking throw all that information at him at one time.
Yes. It's the same thing what Apple's doing with their TV app, which a lot of people thought they were going to make their own streaming service. But honestly, this is basically a giant aggregator.
Yeah, because Google Music worked out too well.
The thing is, Google Music still has a boatload of subscribers. Apple Music has a boatload of subscribers. I think 24 million subscribers right now. I was pulling these things up right now. DirecTV now has 500,000 subscribers. HBO has about 3.5 million subscribers at $15 a month per. Apple Music, I already said 27 million. Netflix right now has more subscribers than US cable subscribers right now.
That still just makes me laugh because all I think about is that meme. Apple Music on Twitter. So what are y'all listening to this weekend?
Spotify.
I felt so bad. My dad's like, hey, I got that. I paid for Apple Music. Like, you spend this much and you get it for a year. I have so many logins. So if you want, just let me know and I'll give you the code for it. No, I got Spotify. I'm good.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is free? No, I'm good, but thank you.
Yeah. I mean, I pay for the family premium pack. I pay $15 a month, which actually I get half back, thanks to Capital One. So nice. I'm basically paying $7.50 a month, and I have 5 premium accounts for Spotify.
I know, I'm one of them.
Yeah. I still have like 2 or 3 spots open.
That's right, because I remember we were offering it to someone. They're like, no, man, fucking just take it. We got it.
Yeah, and they just didn't take it. But yeah, going back to this, there are millions upon millions of people who already have, already subscribing to all these streaming services. Disney's going to jump into all of this, and some...
well, yeah, they want to get their own slice.
Right, and I think they're actually easily get a fairly large slice. There was already a company out there who did some numbers and basically said, if Disney kept the same price point for all the series that they're getting money from other companies like Netflix and Hulu and whatnot, and they brought that all under their own banner, which they are, and they priced it at, say, $9 a month. How many subscribers would they need to just break even?
Well, apparently, according to that, is 32.
32 million. They can easily hit that within the first year. I mean, hell, there's got to be... If you just went to all the annual pass holders and said, for an extra $5 a month, we'll give you a discount. You'll get access to our new streaming service. 99% of them will easily jump into that. There's a boatload of other people who aren't annual pass holders who will jump on this as well. My aunt, she lives in Arizona. Huge Disney fan. She owns anything that has Disney on it, she will grab it and try to hoard it as much as possible. I love her to death. But she's the prime person for something like this. I could see her easy paying $10 to $15 a month.
Maybe it's just the convenience of the fact that I know I live so close.
Mm-hmm.
But like I keep forgetting, like there's a huge like almost cult following with like people in the Midwest.
Oh yeah, they'll make full on treks out here just for a full week and a half of just staying at the park and whatnot. I mean, of course, yes, I'm a annual pass holder and I go at least 4 times a month, if not more.
Like, you go a lot.
Yeah, but, so, I mean, I know I will jump into this because I enjoy the back catalog. It's, to a lesser extent, what Netflix started off being. They wanted to be the collector of everything, where you can just pop on there and just watch whatever you want.
But we discussed this. That's what bothered me. That's what Netflix stopped doing.
Yes, because now they wanted original content, because they kind of foresaw this happening. Like when Starz, I think it was a couple of years ago, said, screw you, we're pulling all our content and making our own app. Netflix went, okay, that's fine. Well, here's our original content, and they didn't lose, like, maybe half.
Because the original content was better than what Starz was putting out.
Yeah, this is true.
Name me 2 Starz original series.
I can't. I really can't.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I can think of one, and I'm not even sure if it is.
Which one?
American Gods.
No, I think it is Starz, yeah.
1. That's what it's got my boy Ian McShane.
And that's recent, too.
Yeah.
Ian McShane's a national treasure, but...
Well, he's not an American national treasure, though.
That's what I say, he's just a national treasure.
Yeah, he's a national treasure. We didn't specify which nation.
But, I mean, we're kind of getting the same thing. Some places will pull their content, may not be as good as everybody else, but maybe good enough to get their own share of the pie. But with Disney...
It's kind of a surefire that the content's already there.
Yeah. And now that gone from Netflix, do you see Netflix really trying to continue to replace this by more original content? Yeah. I mean, yes, they bought Miller World for maybe 2 franchises that are going to be viable. The rest is going to be
sorry, for what? What franchises do they have via Miller World?
They can make probably a Kick-Ass TV series.
Okay, Kick-Ass already had 2 movies. If they try to make anything, it's just going to fail.
They'll still try.
It's saturation, I know.
The same can be said for Kingsman.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of true.
But they could easily turn around with Kingsman themselves and basically say, cool, here's Kingsman 3 and 4, and we'll put them on Netflix first, then we'll put them in theaters, or vice versa, or something like that. I just
had an image of it turning into, like, fucking Starship Troopers. Kingsman 3 is going to be in shit CG, and then we're going to feel bad, and then bring it back for the 4th one. Starring Casper Van Dien. Remember Casper Van Dien, kids? Remember when Casper Van Dien was a thing? No?
I remember when he had a career.
Because no one remembers Casper Van Dien for a good reason.
Yeah.
He likes showing up in things that are decent.
That's about it.
He was in Sleepy Hollow. And Starship Troopers. And then I couldn't tell you a fucking thing that man was in.
But with everything going on right now, we're talking about Netflix and Disney and all these streaming services. It's obviously going to take a hit on other industries, namely the movie industry. Now, they want to complain all the damn time that they're not making
Rotten
nearly
Tomatoes.
as much money.
Rotten Tomatoes has ruined everything.
Well, I agree.
We discussed that last week, that's why.
Yes, but we'll get into it again in just a moment, because what was the article from NPR about this? I don't know if they gave the actual numbers.
I don't know. I'm just always bothered. They're always going to bitch that we're not making enough money. It's like, yeah, because you're putting out shit. And when you have an oversaturation, even if you release something good, people aren't going to see it because it's going to be bogged down by how much shit you put out.
Yes.
Perfect example of how to make money by making something of decent content. 1, Deadpool.
Yes.
Deadpool was made fairly cheap, but made a fuck ton of money because it was good and pretty much made out almost with little to no interaction from the studio.
Yeah.
Because the studio is like, well, we need you to do it this way. No, that makes no fucking sense. We're taking half your budget away.
Okay, we'll still make it work.
Fine. Do we still get to do what we want? Yeah, but you get half the budget. Fuck off then. We get to make our movie.
We'll make it happen.
And then another example. It came out yesterday. We're filming as of Friday the 8th. But it technically came out last night with those fucking early releases I hate.
13.8 million in a single night on a Thursday night, already broke records.
And it's doing fantastically, and it's doing great in terms of ratings.
Yes.
Like I said, of all the reviews that I read, the only ones that were bad was like BET, and like an Irish publication and an English publication, and I think fucking Seattle. Fuck the Pacific Northwest in the first place. But across the board, like I think currently it has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like predominantly it's an enjoyed movie, and it's making a shit ton of money because you made a fucking good movie.
Yes.
You know what happens when you churn out another young adult novel that no one gives a shit about in a movie adaptation? No one's gonna see it.
Oh, like what? Aside from what was it? The Mockingbird one. I don't remember. There was what, like the Fifth Wave. There was like the Maze Runner, Divergent.
Well, see, Maze Runner I actually kind of enjoyed. I only saw the first one, though. I didn't watch the other ones.
But I'm saying it all ties into.
But even that one got cut short.
Yeah.
Because the main actor like hurt himself, and they're like, we're cutting these indefinitely. But like it's one of those things like, quit giving us young adult movies that no one knows or cares about. I'm sorry, all 5-6 fangirls of that who read that book are butthurt now.
Yeah.
Because you need to find the next Twilight.
Or the next Harry Potter, which doesn't matter because J.K. Rowling will turn around and say, "Let me make some more Harry Potter stuff," and poof,
we need to find
money.
the next Harry Potter. Shit, we can't find the next Harry Potter. J.K., what you got? I made something in the same universe. Harry Potter? No. We'll take it.
Is it Harry Potter universe? Yes, but okay.
Here's
money. Here's money.
Magic and Muggles. No, they're not called Muggles anymore. They're called No-Maj. Fuck it. We're basically going to print our own money at this point.
It was just a side little book one night. Fuck it, we're going to make it a trilogy.
Dude, I remember when I had like the tiny little paper book that was like, there's issues of Vogue that were thicker than that goddamn book. Like I bought that when it came out and I thought it was the shit. That's when eventually was like, yeah, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Like, fuck, you turn that into a book. Like, I'm sorry, how do you turn that into a movie? I had that book and it was like 26 pages. Not even hardcover.
It was a compendium, wasn't it? Or...
No, like it was literally a little book, maybe about yay big,
yeah.
I want to say, if not smaller, paper, and it was like maybe 26 pages.
And yet they've made how much money off?
And somehow it's like JK's like, I got this.
I mean, hell, now the remember she tried to create or write a set of crime novels under a pseudonym.
Oh, and they fucking tanked, and that's like, by the way, it was written by J.K. Rowling, New York Times bestseller.
Yes, and now with that happen, because now they know it was by J.K. Rowling, it's now being turned into a movie.
Not surprised at all.
Yeah, it's just J.K. Rowling, money, money, money.
Good for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hollywood, stop releasing shit, and then maybe we'll actually go to your movies.
But it also has to deal with the instant gratification of the internet, and most importantly, like we talked about before, Rotten Tomatoes. Because the fact that Rotten Tomatoes was bought by Fandango, and now that if you go to Fandango's website, every single movie right underneath their title has the Rotten Tomatoes score right there. If it's what percentage fresh or rotten.
I'm cool with that.
But that is limiting also as well people's chances of going out or people trying to take a chance on a movie. Because if you go see a movie, okay, I've watched the trailer, I read the synopsis, I'll go give it a shot. Why not? I got a local showing, I'll go see it. And you come out of it, man, that movie was bad. Doesn't matter at that point because the movie studio already has your money.
They already got your money.
But now you go to Fandango, and actually at this point, I think any movie theater website at this point, oh, check out this movie. I've seen the trailer, seen the synopsis. Oh, look, it only got like a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes. Nope, not going to watch it. Hey, look, they've already lost their money. Yeah. That is the instant gratification aspect that I believe has a major part in why Hollywood is... They're losing so much money. We still made tens of billions of dollars.
I'm sorry, Hollywood. You made the Emoji Movie. You gave Jack Black a career. I don't fucking care what you have to say.
Oh. Yeah. That's why I really think that... Well, going back to, 5 years ago? The movie theaters we're already losing so much money at this point. We need to make it a better experience. Therefore, they had assigned seating and leather recliners and a bar.
I'm cool with that, though.
I'm good with that experience. I enjoy going to the movies for that.
It limits random teenagers like making out near me, or people who are loud and obnoxious.
Yeah, that is true.
And I mean, there's people who like those weird moms that show up with like the giant like purse, and like they have like a 3-course meal.
Yes,
like, that shit doesn't happen in the assigned seating.
Does not at all.
Like, I feel bad, but with the upped price, there's definitely a higher class of moviegoer. I mean, shit. Remember when we went to a normal theater and saw Ghost in the Shell?
Oh yeah.
Crying baby 3 times.
People getting up, people
and
talking
we
around.
immediately were like, we cringed because we saw as this family walk in.
Oh, with like the 9-year-old and the
stroller,
3-year-old?
And they're like, all right, lift the front end. And you see, like, the dad's got the front end of the stroller while the mom's, like, holding the baby and, like, lifting the back end of the stroller. And you see him, like, slowly go up the side of the theater. And the entire time, like, me, you, and Brian were just standing there, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck? And it's not like we were there watching, you know, Secret Life of Pets or whatever new Pixar movie.
No.
We were there to see fucking Ghost in the Shell. Mm-hmm. None of them look like the target demographic for that.
Oh, this is based off a Japanese cartoon. My kids will love that.
Probably. I would have loved if it was like, yeah, this is the live action remake of Akira. Enjoy it, Timmy.
I'm sure the dad would. Oh, it has Scarlett Johansson in it. She's probably naked in it. Okay, I'll watch it. Yeah.
But whatever. Suck it up, Hollywood. Stop making shit.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say. Universal, give it up already. Your Universal movies don't work.
What's funny is that other people in the industry are still saying to this day that internet piracy, is one of the major reasons why no one goes to see movies in the theater anymore.
But the problem with that is, even piracy is on the decline.
Yes, it's hit record lows in reports from people just asking, you know, random internet goers, hey, what do you do? It used to be around the 20 to 30% range of people who use the internet said that they pirated something. Mm-hmm. That's down to less than 15% now. Streaming usage, like legal streaming use, is up to like 40%, if not higher. So, instant gratification of streaming services, the instant gratification of movie reviews right there when you're about to look at a upcoming movie, and like you said, a boatload of shitty movies coming out. No wonder you're losing money.
Yeah,
I do not feel bad for you.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah.
If you release a bunch of shit, then you release something good, guess what? People aren't going to go see it because they're like, nah, man, that last movie you made was garbage.
Yeah. And then they turn around and there's companies out there who are trying to make a subscription service work for movie theaters, like MoviePass. We've talked about it before. Hey, look, you pay $10 a month, you can go see a movie a day. There's more people going to the theater. They're paying full price, or the service is paying full price. You're going to make more money because you're going to have more butts and seats. And more people are going to buy concessions because you can easily drop $30 a person on that, like popcorn, candy, a drink, maybe an icy. That's $30
I've done
right
that
there.
Before.
All this stuff, and then like AMC goes, no, fuck that, we don't like that. Why? And it makes no sense because they try to find ways to ban MoviePass. You can't because it's basically a MasterCard credit card. Mm-hmm. And so the only way you can get rid of that is banning MasterCard, which is one of the big two
banning a payment service.
Yeah, that's not going to work. And if that happened, guess what? That is your Visa.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter at that
They'll
point.
pull a Costco. It's like, oh, you're pissed off at us, Amex? Fuck you. We'll go to Visa or Discover, whatever the fuck it went into.
And they think that it'll lessen the value of going to the theater, and less people will go to the movies. MoviePass is so popular right now that they've had to come out and state it's going to take sometimes up to 3 weeks for us to mail you your card because we can't keep up with demand.
Yeah, because they're still behind.
We're getting more people in the theaters. We're getting more butts and seats. And AMC wants to say, no, I don't like this. We're giving you money. I just don't get it.
It's because it wasn't their idea.
Yeah, I would not be surprised within the next 6 months they come out and basically state, oh, hey, we have our own deal right now for $15 a month. You can see 3 movies a week. Or a week, sure. Or 3 movies a month. But you want to go through us because we'll give you special deals and because we are the official thing. And it's like, no, I can pay $10 and go see it anywhere. Yeah. But enough about shit we've talked about over and over again. Let's talk about, let's review a couple things.
Yeah. Let's get the sour out of the way. Let's talk about Death Note. I saw you cringing already because you knew what I was leading into. First off,
you warned me about this.
I did. The sad part is, I love Death Note's one of those anime where it was like 2 parts. Like, the first half was amazing. I love the first half.
Yes.
Where, it was L versus Light, just fucking duking it out mentally.
Yes.
Even that weird tennis scene, I didn't fully understand it, but I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. And then, obviously, L dies, and then...
Spoiler.
Whatever.
It's been out for years.
Yeah.
You have no choice.
Fuck that. But when they announced the live-action remake, if I remember correctly, you and I both watched the trailer. we both looked at each other, and I'm like, Willem Dafoe being Ryuk is going to be the only good part of this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. The rest of this looks really bad.
And guess what?
And then we saw the Death Note movie and then went, Willem Dafoe as Ryuk was the only good part of this movie. Yeah.
Oh.
Because there was literally no other redeemable qualities.
No. Absolutely none.
Like, when I saw first off, the entire movie is shit. Saw a few friends that I have that enjoyed it. Your opinion's wrong.
Though, the people... It seems to be a trend. People who say that they enjoyed the Death Note anime, or Death Note Netflix movie, most of them have not watched the anime or read the manga.
See, I thought about that.
But even with that, if you take the source material out altogether and is based the movie on its own merit,
it's still not very good.
It's still shit.
Because here's the thing, like, I thought about rewatching the anime leading up to it, but I opted not to.
Okay.
Because I wanted to try to go into it as fresh as possible. And I was hoping kind of like with the movie Watchmen. When Watchmen first came out, I had read the book like years ago when I was still in school. And then when I saw the movie, I'm like, well, it wasn't that bad. Like, it wasn't very good.
Right.
Because fucking Zack Snyder, you were the fucking worst. Oh, my God. I told you about it, the Apple Store. Oh, God. Is it like trying to encompass the Michelangelo-type physique of Dr. Manhattan? All right, so I'm just going to talk about it. Blue penis. The fuck did that come from?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he's like, so, Smurf penis? No, the guy was actually talking about, like, obviously Billy Cudrup doesn't look like Doc Manhattan at all.
No, so we found some Swedish bodybuilders.
Yeah,
and
so immediately you're just like, oh, we're going to start talking about blue cock for, fuck you, Zack Snyder. But I saw the movie, and I'm like, oh, this movie's not that bad. And it's not good either, but whatever. Right. Read the comic again. Went and saw the movie, like, 2 days afterwards. It was a fucking train wreck.
Yes.
But with this, like, right from the beginning, I'm like, all right, I haven't seen the original or read any of the mangas for fucking years, if not a decade, to do this. And then went, what is this train wreck? What the... Oh,
yeah. So I went into this...
Already knowing it was bad.
And I was already in the impression, okay, I already have I've been forewarned it's going to be bad. Let's just try to watch it on its own merits and let's just see what happens.
Okay, let me rephrase it. The only bit of the movie you had seen was the first, like, 30-ish seconds of the credits where randomly it starts showing bloopers.
What the hell was that? It was some crappy music overlaid some, like, MTV-style cuts of just random...
just quick jump cuts and, like, I don't know what...
And then also you have, like, here's a green screen moment. Here's two actors laughing when it was a serious moment.
Here's Willem Dafoe with, like, the little black dots doing the motion face cap stuff, and it's like, what is this?
Yeah.
Why did you feel this was necessary?
Nothing worked for that, but nothing worked for the entire movie, but let's get back to that. Ooh. So, I go into this, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, okay, there's light. Oh, he's a pansy. He's... Okay. This is the exact opposite of the anime. Let's just move into it.
In the anime, he wasn't a little bitch. He was just kind of...
No, he was the smartest kid in school. He was fairly popular. He may have been standoffish to a few people, but
like he was
overall,
standoffish
he was
and smart, but he wasn't like the misanthrope where it's like, oh, no one understands me.
And this one's like, you can't beat me because you'll be sexual assault to a minor, and then he gets his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Like, fuck is this?
Can't hit me. You're an adult legally, and you'd be striking a minor. We found test answers in your bag, so we're gonna give you detention and not the other kid. Wait, that kid that knocked me the fuck out, now you're giving me in trouble for this?
Yeah.
But he's not in trouble.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cut to later on, and he's still a whiny little bitch, and also he magically finds a death note at the beginning of a storm, and jumps into it. And yes, we'll go back to it again. Willem Dafoe as Ryuk was the
only good part of the movie.
Only good part of the movie. Even the CG Ryuk was actually fairly decent. I actually thought it worked out well.
I mean, it was one step away from the Japanese live-action movie version, but...
Which is why it says a little...
But it's still not bad, considering what it was.
Yes. And they were smart to keep him in the shadow, or keep him just slightly out of focus, or, behind a few things, just so you just catch glimpses
But that was supposed to be Ryuk in the first place.
Yes. Very much so. Which I have to say, Willem Dafoe had his laugh down perfectly. It was.
It's Willem Dafoe's laugh.
I know, it was so good.
He had Ryuk's voice. Like, no.
But Ryuk had Willem Dafoe's voice.
The only way that would have been like more Willem Dafoe is if they just put Willem Dafoe in like gray face paint. It was like, just fucking go with it, man. Like, they just eliminated all CG and they're just like, you got this.
Yeah.
So. We seen you dress in drag from Boondock Saints. Just do the same thing, but way dark. And you don't have to kiss any dudes. Unless you want to, then just fucking go for it. Which may have actually improved the movie.
But then you have, what was it? Misa's amalgamation for this one. What was her name? Like Mia or something like that?
Whatever. Did we call her that? Like, I don't know what the hell she was.
She was just like...
Not good.
No. Like, she went straight from... Oh, you seem weird to...
No, first off, I'm the cool cheerleader and I'm the hot one.
Yeah, that's right, because that whole scene where she's on top of the pyramid, she's like...
Yeah, at the beginning, she's all like cheerleader, and then she like looks back, it's like, that's light. And then like, magically she's right there, stop picking on the nerdy kid. Oh yeah, I reported you to the teachers, because you got knocked the fuck out. And I just kind of left all your incriminating stuff there.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm super dark. I'm sorry. Later, when he's walking in the halls and he's like, I banging her. You see her like with like the jock's arm around her. It's like, I'm popular and witty, but I also have a dark side.
Yes. And like,
what the shit is this?
You have a notebook that can kill people?
Yeah.
Oh, I too enjoy the darkness.
I enjoy murder as much as the next chap.
And she jumps into it head first and like goes all like swim fan-esque.
Yeah.
In terms of, yeah. Like,
I'm glad you saw that too.
Yeah, no, it was total swim fan.
Yeah, let's mention a movie from the early 2000s starring Jesse Bradford. You know, I know we're old. We think that's a relevant reference.
But you got it, so that's all that matters.
Jesse Bradford was the heartthrob that time forgot.
But
10 out of 10.
She jumps into this way deeper than any rational person should have.
Oh, she goes from 0 to 60 way too quick.
Yeah, and like goes beyond that.
And even Light's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna start murdering people. That's cool.
Yeah, and they do it at such a rate. Like, what was on the news report? It was like, in the last month, 400 murders have happened. I'm like, the fuck?
It's like, dude, I don't even have time to do anything 400 times in a month. But you have enough time to track all these motherfuckers down and then like figure out a way to kill them.
Yeah. And let's get to L. Schizophrenic? Hey, Parker.
Candy.
Yeah. No. Okay.
Shoot with the goddamn mouth shut.
I understand that in the source material, L ate a lot. Usually a lot of sweets. Nowhere near that level. Or that, that passionate.
Al ate candy. Like, he had a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
But in the show, it's like, there's like a bowl of M&Ms.
Yeah, just random
it's
parts
like,
fall
no,
on the
man,
ground.
like, if you're gonna do it, at least be cool and like quirky about it, like Al, where like he would do that, but he would sit there and be like,
But also, L, like in the anime, like, he would want to sit or stand or kneel or whatever it was.
Yeah,
in the chairs and whatnot. Here, this version of
He
L
would
was like
crouch down
doing
in a
like
chair.
fucking parkour over shit to find the most random ways of sitting down.
I'm not racist, but he was all over the place like a goddamn monkey.
I'm horrible for laughing at that.
I know, but like it's not because he was African American. Like he reminded me of that little fucking monkey in the original Jungle Book, like the one that was just fucking with King Louis the entire time with the pom fronds.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminded me of. Mm-hmm. It's like Al never did that shit. At worst, he was like one of those manic pixie dream girls where it's like you do things in your own way because you're quirky.
Yeah,
like that was it. Whereas this was like, oh, you just might be actually crazy.
Like, and the only reason they gave him any sort of backstory on it was to try to kill Watari. Like, there was no other reason to have that scene or any of his history brought in just for that.
They wanted to make him a character of his own, which is cool. I'm fine with that. But they wanted to stay loyal to the source material, so they like threw in random shit. Mm-hmm. But they took the worst of both elements.
Yes, there's a difference between using stuff as an homage to the source material and just saying...
Bastardization?
Yes. This was a pure bastardization.
You know when you go to LA or like Mexico, like in TJ, and you buy like the 5-pack of action figures. It's like the Justice League, but it's magically got like Shrek and
Goku
Batman's wearing
and-
bright yellow and like Lightning McQueen for some reason.
Yes.
That's essentially like that kind of parody. Where it's like, it's not meant to be bad, but it's really fucking terrible and misses the mark entirely.
Yes. And then let's just jump near to basically to the ending. About the whole...
I had this all planned all along.
Yes. I knew that she was going to go so batshit insane that she was going to say she loved me and then grab the death note from me and almost push me out of the fucking Ferris wheel.
Yeah, because I knew I could have survived that if it went wonky.
Yes, so I also wrote in here that she's gonna take it from me. We're both gonna fall. I miraculously survived by diving in the
Last
water.
I checked-
And the one piece of paper that I had all this information in, magically floated into a
Into the
burning
bin. Yeah. And this child
What?
molester doctor is the one that's gonna find me, and he dies because he's a child molester.
Yeah.
Who's just gonna happen to be... What the fuck is that?
Yeah, and mind you,
that is some Dark Knight Joker level bullshit.
And he did all that. Remember when he was basically on the run at the dance or the prom, whatever it was? He rushed upstairs, went into the computer lab, looked at some people, wrote this all out in probably 3 minutes, and then ran out of the school. No, not at all.
I'd rather have watched that weird ass tennis scene in the anime over and over again than that. And that shit made no sense to me.
No, it didn't. And so,
Spoiler alert!
In finishing this, I was so dumbfounded by this that I tried to get a palate cleanser. So I decided to say, fuck it, I'm just going to binge watch the Netflix anime. All 37 episodes in 2 days. Let's just do that. Go. And I agree with you what you said earlier. The first half, loved it
It's
still.
still awesome.
It still holds up very well. That second half,
Oh, it's
though,
terrible.
no, it just completely crumbles
We need to
apart.
wrap this up, and we don't know how.
Yeah. Shit, we killed our main,
And
not antagonist, but...
we killed one of the main characters, and now we don't know how to finish this up.
And look, we're going to magically make sure that he has, not siblings, but younger proteges?
Yeah, he's got 2 successors.
Yes.
Each one is like a reflection of different parts of him.
Yeah.
One was like this weird little kid. One of them was like some slutty chick or something like that. I binged through it really quickly too. That's because I told you that's like, all right, let me.
Yeah.
And it just made me hate the anime even more, or the movie even more.
Yeah. Like,
First half.
I can forgive a lot of the shit in the anime because I could see where they were trying to go with stuff. They just poorly executed what they were going for. Then I look at the anime, the movie, and I go, no, what the ever living fuck was this?
And the worst part is, I think the director is someone they're like, yeah, it just didn't work out too well because we were hoping for more of like a sequel or a trilogy. Like, we're hoping to keep going. I'm sorry, what?
When your climax scene chooses a fucking Chicago tune as your soundtrack. This is not an 80s thriller. This is...
The whole thing was bad.
Yeah. I do not see this. Normally, I would go out there and say, this movie was trash, but it's an enjoyable trash. You want to watch the train wreck.
Or, watch it with friends and have a few drinks. This is why they just don't do it.
MST3K the thing.
Here's the thing.
Not
I also
this.
made Jason watch The Room. Well, I wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. Okay, but would you rather watch The Room again? Or Death Note? Alright, Archer. Keep in mind, for either one...
Do I have to be sober?
For either one, we will be drinking and we will watch it together.
Very good question. Maybe I would say The Room.
Because with The Room, it's there's no way that movie was intentionally supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Except for Tommy Wiseau is probably fucking batshit crazy. But like you, me, and Jess could all watch it together and have a few drinks and fucking have a blast.
Oh yeah,
I
we could
know
laugh our
fucking
asses off at it.
The same could not be said for Death Note.
No, we'd just be screaming at the...
We would watch it, drink, and then eventually either lose track of what's going on in the movie and just have it as background noise, or B, get bored with it 20 minutes in and switch to The Room.
Yeah. Now, mind you...
So a movie that is notorious for being god-awful, so bad to the point, there's a movie coming out about how bad of a movie it is. this movie is more appealing than this new Netflix show.
Yeah. No, that's accurate. I mean, there's nothing redeeming about The Room. But it is kind of like...
It's funny.
It's funny in how bad it is.
Oh, hi, doggy.
You're my favorite customer. Oh, I didn't recognize you.
How did you... I didn't know you, Johnny. I like the fact that, like, honestly...
Johnny's a great guy. You're going to be... He's too sensitive. You can't do
Yeah, that's
this
how I'm like,
him.
all right, Jason. Because before he watched it, I was blatantly, it's like, just so you know,
man.
Johnny's an awesome guy, but Lisa doesn't love him. What that... I don't know if that's going to be mentioned enough. Like, it's a little subtle. A little too subtle, maybe. But that's all you need to know.
While they're tossing the football around. That only happens maybe a few dozen times.
But, like, I watched it with a friend of mine because she was the one who kept talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So she finally brought it over and we watched it. And, like, every so often I'm like, huh? She goes, yeah, I didn't notice that till, like, my third or fourth time seeing this. I'm like, how many times have you seen this? I don't even care. I just need to get on that level.
I did not hit her. I did not.
It's bullshit. I did not. Did not hit her.
Mark.
I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, my God. It is so bad. And I was sober when I watched it, too. Now, the thing is, though, you were right. I will happily watch this again with friends, with drinks, because it's just going to be just fun.
Yeah.
Because we can just make fun of it because of how ridiculous it is.
You can't do that with Death Note.
You really, really can't.
You're gonna sit there and talk about, like, your favorite dashboard confessional or how Umbrella Academy is one of the best comics ever made. Come on, we can all talk about joining the Black Parade while we watch it. But that movie is just not good.
No.
Let's talk about The Defenders. Other Netflix thing that was not as bad.
Yeah, I there was actually many scenes of it that I really enjoyed.
I like that they didn't say Danny Rand every 10 minutes.
That was nice. I like the fact that there was not as much Iron Fist in this one, which I'm perfectly happy with. Mm-hmm. But they still had him enough in there to actually tie up his story from the god-awful series.
Kinda.
It was a lot better than what we had from his standalone series.
Yeah.
I like the fact that how they were in a situation and they just ended up working together just so they all can get the fuck out of it. But it wasn't one of those things like, we're a team and we have to do this and be round. It was not the Avengers.
It played very much like a Defenders comic.
Yes.
In the sense that if you look at the overall characters of the Defenders, yeah, Daredevil, he's the way better character. What character did everyone care about? Like, if you look at all the Netflix series and go, like, who had the better season 1? Daredevil.
Daredevil.
Who was the first?
Daredevil.
Daredevil. Same thing.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, everyone gave a shit about Daredevil, even in the overall story. In the Defenders, which had everyone coming together, even all of them being together took a back seat to Daredevil.
Yeah. And it worked, though. A lot of it worked very well.
You know what I mean? Like, in the Avengers, like, let's be honest, yeah, everyone's there, but you're pretty much following Cap and Iron Man.
Yes.
Same thing with Defenders.
Yes.
You have all the Defenders there, but you're pretty much following Matt Murdock.
But at the same token, though, we actually seen more of the interaction.
Because of Luke is racist.
Meh. You see a lot more interaction between the other three Defenders, especially because in watching all of the previous series for it, you know that Luke Cage and what was the nurse chick's name? Rosario Dawson's character.
Fuck. Even I want to say Lucy.
I can't remember her.
I don't think
You know what I'm talking about, her character. They hooked up. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones also hooked up. So now there's other story materials that they can flesh out in the later seasons.
I say they just kind of like nudge. Luke, you slept with both these women. Yeah, I did that.
But there's stuff in there that they can play off of. The fact that they also have one of the 5 members of the Hand still survived. The one in the white pimp suit.
I thought they all died except for Gao.
No, I don't think he died. He only had a few scenes, showing him as one of the 5 members of the Hand, the 5 leaders, I should say. But he didn't die. He left. So there's still more.
If you're talking about who I think you're talking about,
where's my phone?
Stick chopped off his head.
Stick didn't chop, not his head. No.
He was the first one to go. White Hat, or whatever the fuck his name was.
He didn't die. Did he?
Yes. He was the first one to die.
Why do I not remember this?
Like, they had him, like, in the theater, and he was all tied up like that. They beat the shit out of him, and then they took off for a bit, and then Stick straight up decapitates that motherfucker.
Why do I not remember this?
And that was around the same time the other 4 members of the Hand were like, yeah, he got fucking arrested or whatever, like, he's with them.
Wow,
and like we can't bring anybody back now because we used the last of our immortal juice.
That's right. Okay, fine.
They're like, we're all vulnerable.
My review of this is now null and void because I can't remember something like that.
Yeah, one of the main baddies, like his head got chopped off.
I still stand behind the fact that his involvement has some story implications for Luke Cage season 2. I will leave it at that. I will find a way out of this hole that I just dug for myself. God damn it!
It is deep. I mean, even I could be wrong, but like, nah, man. He was like the gun runner from Africa or something like that just kind of showed up, and like Stick straight up chopped his head off.
It'll work. It'll find its way work.
You know, you fix that, boom, magic and more immortal stuff.
Wasn't the only dragon that was there.
Yeah, I mean, it's what they were digging for, whatever. But no, overall, like it was better than Luke. I think it was better than Jessica Jones. I don't remember. I enjoyed Jessica Jones, but it was a bit of a tough sell because I think that story was more meant for a female audience, and that's cool because it was still brilliant. And I loved it.
You're not 10 anymore, so.
Yeah, but I mean, like anything's better than Iron Fist. I loved it. I think it's probably on par for me with Luke Cage. Like it wasn't as good as. I put it a little above
Luke Cage. So I would go Iron Fist, Luke Cage, Defenders, Jessica Jones, Daredevil.
Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Defenders, Luke Cage, then...
Me. Fair enough, okay.
I'm sorry, like, I think it's because I spent most of Jessica Jones sitting there going, yo, what are you doing, doctor?
Yeah, okay.
Like, that was very jarring for me.
I could see that. But let's talk about Sigourney Weaver's character for a second. To me, I felt that was an unnecessarily forced character for this.
No, I enjoyed it. You needed to find out who the lead was. Think about it. They've been talking about the Hand the entire time.
They have,
and in season 2 of Daredevil, you finally find out that Madame Gao is not the head of it.
Right.
Because they've all been building up that Madame Gao is more powerful than she actually lets on.
Right. Here's the thing that
sorry, at the end of Daredevil, you find out that she's part of the Hand, and she's one of the high-ranking members.
Madame Gao is.
And then in Iron Fist is the one where you find out she's not the leader of the Hand. So it would make sense that you finally get to see that there's more members of the Hand, and you finally find out that, yes, there is... I mean, they never technically said it, at least I don't think, but in terms that they kept referring to each other as fingers.
Right.
If that's the case, the Sigourney Weaver character was definitely the thumb.
Right.
Because she was fucking running the show.
Here's the thing, though, that threw me off the most, and this is probably just me, but in watching, the previous seasons, whatnot, Madame Gao was a badass. Mm-hmm. And even in Defenders, there were scenes that she was a badass in her skill set.
Yeah, we got to see her go all kung fu.
But the thing is, though, she was always a badass in how she composed herself in all of these other situations she was in Daredevil, in Luke Cage. But when it came to talking to Sigourney Weaver's character, Anastasia, or whatever her name was, she seemed meek. She seemed scared at certain points.
I enjoyed that, though.
But that was so much of a drastic turn for me.
But that's why.
I couldn't keep up with it.
Because you always saw Madame Gao as a position of authority.
Right.
And we knew that there was someone above her. There was someone that she feared. To me, that's what gave Madame Gao the motivation to turn and be like, no, you guys get this shit done now. Because if it's wrong, guess who I have to go fucking answer to?
I think it could have been, to me, it could have been handled a little differently. Yes, she's still a badass, but she knows that some of the person above her can kill her if she fucks up. Mm-hmm. But there was, could be a sense of urgency, not a sense of pure fear.
Oh, no, I enjoyed it.
I couldn't get my
because
head
to me, now
that.
it's going to be more fun that pretty much everyone's gone except for Gao. So that means she's the only one in charge now. Which perfectly sets up the fact that you have Gao in charge, and you have Elektra still running around technically. Well, kind of, sort. But we'll find out, because we do know that a Daredevil Season 3 is coming.
Yes. And I honestly, with that part, I definitely see Elektra and Gao going at it.
Exactly.
And that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to that.
Because
that
means
awesome.
Gao has nothing left to fear. Because we knew the only thing that scared her was Sigourney Weaver's character. And guess who's gone?
I agree with you. Having the battle between Gao and Elektra is going to be amazing. I guess I just can't get my head wrapped around the whole how fearful she was. She can be fearful of her. That's understandable. I can work with that. But the level of fear that I got out of that, I was just like, that seems a little too much for me to believe, and that's fine. Again, there are many times that I'm wrong, even in this episode. Yeah, I know. I said it before you could, but overall, it was enjoyable. Defenders was just a nice conclusion of some story arcs. Open up some new story arcs.
It was a lovely tie together to officially make sure everyone's in the same universe.
Yeah. This was the end of Phase 1 for the Defenders.
Look, man, I want them to go full-blown Marvel Knights and just have fucking Ghost Rider show up.
Dude, that'd be awesome.
We need to find a place for Johnny Blaze. Why not put him on Netflix?
God, that'd be amazing. So good. All right.
Especially if he's being played by Nicolas Cage. Those movies are shit, and say what you will. I watched it again.
Yeah.
I did, last weekend.
Really? That recent?
Yeah. I regret nothing.
All right,
fair enough. The movie's still super bad.
All right.
But it's also super bad ass.
Yeah.
Boom. Nailed it.
All right, let's wrap things up with some quick hits. Going through these very quick, just lightning round. Rockstar announced that they are bringing back the classic detective game that they made, LA Noire.
And it's the same universe. Like, it's not like a HD remake, is it?
No, it is an HD remake.
Oh, okay.
It's coming out for Xbox One, PS4, Nintendo Switch, these are going to be full versions of the console game that came out before, and also a version for the HTC Vive. Now, the Vive version will actually include 7 of the original cases from LA Noire rebuilt so you can actually be more immersive in it because you're using the VR headset, but it's not the entire game. The other new consoles are a port of the original console version itself.
So it's kind of like when they do like movie video games where it's like, yeah, you can get the one on Game Boy that's like a watered down version, or you can get like the actual good one for a console.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple years ago, they made an announcement for a Doctor Who spinoff, a new one, because there's been several Sarah Jane Adventures. And
yeah, the Adventures of Sarah Jane, Torchwood.
Yeah. This new one was called Class. To be dealing with the...
Doesn't matter, nobody watched it and it was canceled.
Yes, it was, after 1 season, so we won't have to worry about that any longer.
I completely forgot that was a thing until you're like, hey man, did you know they canceled it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a thing.
The trailer for the next Benedict Cumberbatch-led movie called The Current War was released. It stars Benedict Cumberbatch as Edison.
It's a bunch of Edison propaganda. They just want you to be pro-Edison.
Yeah, it wasn't really like... It was supposed to be like Edison versus the businessman and how this whole thing worked out.
Yeah, that's what this trailer is. Most things that I've read, or because again, everyone has their bias.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever seen was like Edison versus Tesla.
Tesla, yeah, Nikola Tesla.
And like even this, like there's in the 2.5 minute trailer, if that, there's like the last 20 seconds magically, it's like, and then there's Tesla.
Yeah.
What I do is I just help dumb people look smart. And that was it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Oh, it could be so much more.
Are you just gonna have him be there to be like, look, Edison wasn't that bad, guys. Him and Tesla were actually really good friends. What?
No. If you go into the
but that's what the trailer made it seem like.
Exactly. But the actual history between those two is so entertaining.
Yeah, it was Edison like, I'm steal your shit, Tesla. What the fuck, bro?
Yeah. They each had spies for each other.
By the way, I stole your shit. And I slapped my sticker on it and told everyone your shit will kill you. Which is funny because that's one of the big things they mentioned in the trailer where like the businessman, he's like, you said my stuff will kill you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're trying to get to it. The upcoming South Park game sequel, The Fractured But Whole, made the announcement that the difficulty setting is actually tied to your skin tone. Now, mind you, this is not going to do anything in regards to the difficulty.
It's not going to affect the actual battle.
The gameplay. But all the story elements and whatnot will actually have a dramatic effect. If you want the easy mode, you go for the lighter
white
color. If you want the ultra hard expert mode, you go black. Yeah, and all the colors in between.
Which is weird because everyone bitched about that being super racist, but I'm like, no, if anything, I mean, that's the joke, though.
It is.
Like, unfortunately... If you are darker in skin tone, your life is gonna be a lot harder, and it sucks because that's the way it is.
Congratulations, you're black. Here's a basketball and a bass guitar.
Well, no, that they made that joke when they formed the band, or it's like, Token, you can have the bass. What makes you think you think just because I'm black, you think I can play bass? Motherfucker. But I mean, like, it's one of those things, like, it's funny.
Yeah.
And, like, because it's being black doesn't necessarily mean that, certain things are going to be tougher for you just getting from point A to B. It's everything. It's the side stuff. It's how you get from A to B that's going to be more difficult.
Right.
That's why I'm like, oh, that's fucking brilliant and racist as shit. That is amazing. But some snowflake is going to have trouble with it.
Yeah. Futurama is getting a sequel of sorts, in combination to promote their new game, their
the mobile one.
Game, yeah. World of Tomorrow. They're actually releasing a radio drama. It's going to be a 2-part series you can get on the Nerdist network. They'll post it on September 14th. This radio play will have, just like I said, 2 episodes. It features the entire cast, the original crew, the original writers wrote it all up. I think this is fantastic. There is a preview that you can get right now, but you have to get it inside the game itself. The game itself is fun. I love the fact that they have the original writers creating the new
like you're telling me they have all the jokes and stuff like that.
But after like 2 weeks of playing it, I got bored with it, so I deleted the app.
So that's what apps do, though, like that.
That is very true. So, plus it's also very late to the game. There was Simpsons Tapped Out, and Futurama, but a Family Guy had one as well, and now you have Futurama, which is still probably technically better writing than everything else ahead of it, but it's so late to the game.
The show that ran out of ideas versus the show that ran out of episodes.
Yes, very true. All right, so you guys can check that one out on September 14th on the Nerdist Network. What else we have going on here?
Powerpuff Girls. They're announcing a 4th one. No one knows what she is, except for there's like a weird silhouette where she has long hair.
Yeah, and she's taller than the other 3.
Well, that's just what they're showing.
They really need to add a 4th one. Were they just...
Well, they're bringing the show back.
They already brought it back.
Well, like, this is part of like a 5-part series or something like that. And the 4th Powerpuff Girl shows up at some point.
Yeah.
Wait, scroll down. Yeah, all we know is that she has longer hair, and she may or may not be older. I think it'll be cool.
Yeah. So, we'll have to see what happens. Even though I don't remember anybody playing it. Also, there is a fan game out that you can support right now. You can download the demo, which we played just before we recorded today.
Yeah.
It's called Joestar Struck. It is a dating sim featuring characters from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Until I get to seduce Dio, no dice.
You get the masks too.
Or old man Joester. Not the young one. I want old man Joester.
Oh. Okay, so I actually downloaded the demo.
You did?
You basically play Joe Random Kid, and
well, it gave you the one option of what, Hikaru or something like that?
Yeah.
We're assuming it's a girl, though, right?
No.
Are we assuming that's a dude?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's how it's gonna work.
I just assumed
and
it was...
you run into Josuke, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and it's just going back. The demo takes place over 3 days. I played it through real quick. We laughed our ass off at some of the awkwardness that you would find in it, and ended on a neutral ending. So I didn't get to woo Josuke, but I don't. Yeah, It's going to happen. The game is tentatively set to be released sometime in 2018, but you can download the demo right now. It is a deliciously horrible fanfic, basically in game form.
Yeah, because the whole point is you're new to this school where Jonathan, Mr. Jonathan is the teacher.
Yeah.
Like I said, Joseph, I'm assuming, shows up at some point.
Yeah, because you can basically, the creators are saying you can potentially woo Joseph, Jonathan, Josuke, and Jotaro, as well as probably a couple other characters as well. Yeah. That's the thing. We downloaded, we played it. That's about it we can say about that.
What if I want to seduce a Speedwagon?
Ario Speedwagon.
He ends up a billionaire.
There you go. All right, the last thing we want to talk about.
Damn right, we want to talk about it.
The best Christmas movie of all time is undoubtedly
Die Hard.
Anybody says that it's not, they're wrong.
Yeah, those aren't people you need in your life.
Yes, you don't need that kind of negativity. So it is always a tradition to watch this, in the holidays, to get yourself in the holiday spirit. And
I almost got sent home from work once with my super sweet Die Hard sweater.
I remember that shit. That was bullshit. But anyways, there are some of the younger generation, very young generation, I should say, who've never experienced Die Hard before.
Movie came out the same year I was born.
So there's a way to ease them into it. Well, the easy way to do so. Die Hard is being adapted into a children's book.
Keep in mind, all the blood and gore and glory is in the book.
It's still into it. It's called A Die Hard Christmas, the illustrated holiday classic.
It's in almost the same art style of those books that have the golden spine.
Yeah, like Twas the Night Before Christmas and all those. Oh man.
For it, if I God help if I have kids, this will be their Christmas bedtime story.
I don't have kids right now. I don't be buying this. It'll be available October 17th. The retail price is $17, although if you pre-order on Amazon right now, it's a little bit cheaper, probably around $15. Totally worth it. I don't care if you have kids or not. If you're single in a couple, you need to have this in your life.
Raise your kids right.
Yes.
I want that.
God, we've gone through a hell of a lot this episode.
More than we probably...
We've hit almost an hour and a half at this point.
Shit happens.
Yeah. So lots to talk about. We've had some good conversation. We've had some really good drink. These Darth Revans are awesome.
Heck yeah, man.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Let us know what you guys think about this drink, or if you have any ideas about new stuff for us to talk about in future episodes. But thanks for joining us for Geeks and Drinks. I'm Jason.
I'm Jordan.
Cheers, Internet.